Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Trina Dotto, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JIS College of Engineering. Today, I will tell about natural resource. And here, I have given my contact number and email ID. If you have any doubt, you can communicate. And most important, I have given the course page. So all the digital content are uploaded here. So you can study anywhere, anytime. And not only the study materials, all the related problems and the questions, assignment, semester questions, all these are uploaded in my course page. The subject name environmental science and subject code for odd semester, that is MC301, and for even semester, that is MC401. And the streams are CSE, IT, Civil, Mechanical, and BME. And the course objectives are given here. The students will learn about environment, the relationship with human activities, and also they will solve the problem related to environment. So the syllabus also given here, the general part. It is the 6th lecture. Air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, and noise pollution. And the reference books also given. So you can have it from the library and you can study and consult. So today I will start the general part. So from the lesson plan, it is given here. The general part, it is of 6 lecture. So today I will start the natural resource. This is one lecture, module 1, lecture 1, that is the natural resource, forest resource, water resource, mineral resource, energy resources, alternate source of energy. There are lots of resources. So books, suggested books are Gaur Krishna Das Mohapatra. The book name, it is according to old syllabus, you will get environmental engineering and elementary biology, and later you will get the environment and ecology. So all these are the lesson plan. So first you must know what is environment. So environment, environ, that means surround or around us. So anything surrounding us, that is called our environment. So if you see here, like your friend, the table, desk, chair, or this blackboard, or like your laptop or your home, everything surrounding you, that is your environment. So environment is defined as a sum of physical, chemical, and biological factors which act upon an organism or an ecological community and determine its form and nature of survival. So you can understand that is a relationship between the physical, chemical, biological factors and with the organism, the living being. That means the plant kingdom and animal kingdom. That is a interrelationship, a dependency. Now, what are the components of environment? So environment has the abiotic components and biotic components. Abiotic means the non-living components, And biotic means the living components. So in the living components, there are biosphere, that is plant kingdom and animal kingdom. And in the abiotic part, there are three parts, that is the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere. So atmosphere means the sphere of air. That is the sphere of air. So there is a blanket over the Earth's surface that is called atmosphere. So it contains different gases like oxygen, nitrogen, CO2. So what is the benefit of atmosphere? So we know that without oxygen, we can't live because it is required for our respiration. So it is very important for us. And CO2 is required for the photosynthesis. Without the photosynthesis, plants can't produce food. And we depend on the plants because we can't produce our food. We can cook, we can boil, but we cannot generate the foods. So it is also very important. And not only that, the atmosphere maintain the heat balance. Ozonosphere protect us from UV rays. So there are lots of benefits. We can't live without atmosphere. So atmosphere has the different layers like troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere. And hydrosphere is the sphere of water. So here we can't live without water, and water, another name is life, you know very well, because it is required for drinking purpose. And not only that, it is required for multiple purpose, for industrial purpose, washing purpose, etc. And hydrosphere contains all the water bodies like sea, ocean, lakes, glaciers, and it is of two types, surface water and groundwater. Surface water is also two types, saline water, fresh water. Next is lithosphere. Lithosphere means the sphere of soil and rocks. Basically, lithosphere means the outermost surface of the earth that has three parts: core, mantle, and the outermost solid surface. But generally speaking, we understand the outermost surface as our lithosphere, and it includes rock, soil. So from the rocks, by the weathering process, we get soil, minerals, etc. By weathering process means like rain, by first wind. So here, lithosphere, we have taken the rock. There are three types of rocks: igneous rock. Igneous rocks, it is the primary rock; sedimentary rock, which we get from the sedimentation for long days by weathering process; and metamorphic rock. So it we get by the changes, by chemical changes. And the last component is the biosphere, that is a sphere of living organism. So sphere of living organism, all the plants and all the animals. So plant kingdom and animal kingdom. So if it is asked that what is environment, define environment, and what are the components of environment, then you can write that the definition of environment, and the components you write the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. And these have the sub layers. So it is here mentioned. So man, society, and environment. So why it is important for human being? Because there is an interrelationship between man, society, and environment. So we depend on the environment. So I have told that we depend on the abiotic parts like air, water. So human being, or not only human being, all the animals depends on the abiotic part. So there is a correlationship. So we have to take care of the environment. And why it is important to study the environment? Because we have to think about environment, not for basically we think for ourselves. We are so selfish. We think for ourselves, and as we are not taking care of the environment, so it creates problem to us. So there are lots of environmental degradation due to the overpopulation, rapid urbanization, rapid industrialization, rapid deforestation, increased radiator transportation, etc. Now we have reached at a moment that we have to think about our existence. Because of our activities, now pollution is increased due to the urbanization, due to the overpopulation, and mainly due to not taking care of the environment, because we are exploiting the environment. And that is why now we are thinking about our existence. There are lots of issues like carbon emission, like the smog in the Delhi, and water crisis, and emerging issue, you know very well. So now we have to think about the sustainable development. So how we can recover our environment, like how we can minimize the depletion of natural resources when we create new development, to create development that can be maintained and sustained without causing further harm to our environment. And we can to provide method for retrofitting existing development to make them into environmentally friendly facilities and project. So we have to, when we will implement any project, so we have to think about our environment. Basically, one question may come that can should we that stop the economic development? No, it is not possible. But we can do lots of things with our digital, like say with our advancement, we can do lots of things that also save our environment. Like say, by in many companies, I think you know that the taking the printout has been restricted. But the digitalization is one of the advancement, and by this we are not taking the printout. We are doing everything by mail or digital platform. So what happened? That means using of paper, wastage of paper has been reduced. And you know the paper comes from the plants. So if we can reduce the use of paper, then the cutting trees will be reduced. So in this way, we can do lots of things. Not only that, we know that we are always tell that do the tree plantation, do tree plantation. But how we will do? Because there is no space. Because all the places are uh, like uh, like occupied by construction, by buildings, by industries. So what we can do? We can do vertical farming where soil is not required much, and we can make the stack, and the water requirement also will be less. So in this way we can think. And also we are thinking about the instead of fossil fuel, to reduce the use of fossil fuel, we are thinking about the automatic vehicles, electric vehicles, but it also require the power. So we have to think about the alternate energy resource like wind energy, like solar energy, because the resource is very limited and we have to take proper care of the resource. So now, what is resource? What you understand about the natural resource? So a resource is a source or supply from which benefit is produced. Resources can be broadly classified in different renewable and non-renewable. That means resource, it may be any source or supply by which the humans are benefited. Okay, so it is of two types. One is renewable, another is non-renewable resource. So what is non-renewable resource? Non-renewable resources are those natural resources which are exhaustible and cannot be replaced once they are used. These are available in limited amount and develop over a long period. These include fossil fuel such as coal, oil, natural gas, and nuclear power. What are the renewable resources? Just opposite of this. The renewable resources are those natural resources which are inexhaustible. It is which can be renewed or have life cycle. Being a part of a cycle, water come back as rain. So we can say water is a renewable resource. Another also like sun, wind, tide, all these are renewable resources. So natural resource, we have divided two ways, renewable, non-renewable. And definition also given here, non-renewable, that is resource that can only be used once. Renewable means resource that can be used over and over again. And the example given, like coal, and for the renewable resource like wind, water, etc. Another is potentially renewable resource. So potential resource of renewable energy like wind, solar, and also geothermal. Geothermal power, we are thinking nowadays very much to utilize the geothermal power. The heat energy under the sea, that is the geothermal power that can be converted into the power. Because the fossil fuel is limited and it is going to be completed, we have to think about the alternate energy resource. And not only that, fossil fuel creates the carbon emission, and we have to reduce the carbon emission to protect environment. This is the wind power, and the different examples of renewable and non-renewable, like renewable energy, biomass, hydropower, geothermal, wind, solar energy, and non-renewable like petroleum, natural gas, coal, uranium, propane. Okay, so if the MCQ comes like mention that which one is a renewable energy and the options are given, then you must answer. Okay, solar power, you know that it is the conversion of irradiance to electrical energy, either through the heating of a fluid, which is in turn used to generate steam. Hydropower, it is the larger scale power generation based on use of large dams or reservoirs. Wave power, it is the generation of electricity through the change of height of the crest and through of a wave. Geothermal, it involves pumping water into high temperature underground near surface rock structure, the generation of steam by the water and using that steam to turn a turbine. Biomass, it is a generation of electricity through the burning of waste or organic materials such as sugar, cane husk. Food resources, so there are all these things are resources which we can utilize, that means we require. So food resources, so food is important resources, it requires for our nutrient, and there are lots of sources like crops, livestock, etc. So we have to think about the what is the world scenario, that means how much food is required and what is the population. So to increase the amount of food, there are lots of innovation, the changes in the agriculture, and there are different innovation in the agriculture modernization, the fertilizer used and pesticides used to control pest. So in this way, there are lots of research and development to enhance the food in scientific way. And land resources, so I told the land mainly the three parts: crust, mantle, core. But generally speaking, we understand the crust, the outermost surface, as our land resource. So we have to think about land degradation also. Due to the deforestation and many other causes, due to soil erosion, man-induced landslide. So there are lots of causes for land degradation. And ultimately, land can be converted into desert, and that is called desertification. So desertification is a slow process of land degradation that leads to desert formation. So we have to take care of land also, all the resources we have to take care. Mineral resources, it is the part of lands. So use and exploitation of mineral. Basically, we require all the resources, but somehow we exploit, which is not required, still we exploit and misuse. That is the main problem. So we have to think different way, like we have to recycle all the materials. We have to reduce the wastage. Then we can reduce the pollution and we can save the resources. Forest resources. Forest resources is also very important. We get different materials like honey, like woods, and there are different forest region like moist tropical forest, dry forest. So deforestation is also very create the problem, and due to the deforestation we get soil erosion, and there is the effect on climate also, and the desert expanded, and environment also changed, and we lost the flora and fauna, both lost, and water table also lowered. So there are lots of effects of deforestation. So we need to take care of forest resource also. So these are the effect of mining. The major effects of mining operation on forest and tribal people: degradation of lands, loss of topsoil due to deforestation, lowering the water table, air population due to release of greenhouse gases, loss of flora and fauna, ore transport hazard, fire hazard, tribal people may be forced into a new way of life for which they are unprepared. So effects of dam, the major impacts of dams like degradation of catchment areas, deforestation, and loss of flora fauna, acute scarcity of fuel, wood, and other forest product for tribal people, rehabilitation and resettlement of those affected, energy resource. So energy resource, I told there are two types, renewable and non-renewable. Non-renewable energy resource, most common example, the fossil fuel. Fossil fuel includes the coal, petrol, diesel, all these things. And renewable energy resource like solar energy, nuclear energy, wind energy. Okay, so we have to, what we can do, we can use the alternate energy resource like solar power by solar water heating, solar base heating of building, solar air conditioning, solar refrigeration, solar drying, cooking, solar greenhouse, solar furnace, etc. So that we can reduce the pollution based on fossil fuel. Electromagnetic radiation such as light, radio waves, microwaves, ultraviolet rays, gamma rays, etc. So conventional energy resource, this includes fossil fuel, water, nuclear energy, and non-conventional energy resource means the geothermal, ocean, thermal, tidal, wave, everything has the energy. So this energy can be utilized. In naturally, the tidal or thermal wave energy, it is not utilized. It is naturally wasted. So we can utilize these energies. Hydroelectric. Surface water, because its potential energy is certain areas, provide the cheapest, neat and clean resource of energy. A hydroelectric power plant harness power from water flowing under pressure, water falling from a height. So the electric generators driven by water turbines represent the use of water energy as electricity. So water falling from high altitude to low altitude, that is naturally happens, but this energy is not utilized, but we can convert this energy into the hydroelectric. Fossil fuel based energies, but you know that fossil fuel is limited and it creates a carbon emission, lots of air pollution. Nuclear energy. So nuclear energy, not only to make the atom bomb, it can be utilized for good purpose, and it is a huge energy. It should be used instead of fossil fuel. Bioenergy, biomass. From biomass, that is defined as the living matter or its residues. It is a renewable source of energy. The biomass includes all new plants, growth, residue, waste, algae, agricultural and forest residues. It can be utilized. Biogas is produced from the organic matter by anaerobic decomposition. We get the methane-rich gas, that is the biogas. And this is the eco-friendly we can use. Another is hydrogen. Hydrogen as alternate source of energy. So we know that fossil fuel are formed and during the time of the dinosaur, but it is limited. It is going to be finished, and we have to think about the alternate resource. So hydrogen can be made from molecules called hydrocarbons by applying heat, a process known as reforming hydrogen. This process makes hydrogen from natural gas. So hydrogen And electrical current can also be used to separate water into its components of oxygen and hydrogen in a process called electrolysis. Some algae and bacteria using sunlight as their energy resource give off hydrogen under certain conditions. Hydrogen as fuel, a high energy, yet a machine that burns pure hydrogen produces almost zero pollution. So hydrogen can be a good alternate resource of energy in near future. Okay, so what you have learned, if I like to summarize, you have learned number one, definition of environment, components of environment. Next, the biotic components, the components like atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, biosphere. And also you have learned what are the biotic and what are the abiotic systems. And you have learned the resources, renewable, non-renewable, potential renewable resources, they are examples, and conventional, non-conventional resources, and how to take care and what are the problems and how to take care of all these resources. So thank you for today. I am ending the session.